Beyond the Gates, as the latest episode dives deep into the tangled web of secrets, lies, and family betrayals that have defined Fairmont Crest for years, and in this shocking installment, the Dupree family and their circle of friends and enemies are about to witness a moment that will redefine everything they thought they knew about Grayson. The often quiet but intensely observant young man whose life has been marked by questions about his origins and the hidden truths that have haunted him since childhood, as the tension builds throughout the episode with scenes that interweave past and present, showing flashbacks of Grayson's early years, a time when he was raised by his loving but unaware adoptive parents, juxtaposed with present-day Fairmont Crest, where the walls themselves seem to whisper secrets, and as Grayson begins to dig into his past with a determination fueled by years of uncertainty and curiosity. Viewers are taken on a roller coaster ride of emotions, ranging from anxiety to anticipation, because every character in the show, from his closest allies to the most cunning antagonists, senses that the calm before the storm is over and that Grayson's investigation will lead to a revelation that could shake the foundations of their intertwined lives. And when Grayson finally confronts the figure who has loomed in the shadows of his life, the show masterfully builds suspense with the use of tight close-ups, lingering pauses, and ominous music cues, making each moment feel loaded with significance, and the tension is compounded as other characters, some who wish to support him, others who wish to stop him, scramble to manipulate events to their advantage, and as the confrontation unfolds, Grayson's questions peel back layers of deception, revealing a truth that had been carefully hidden for decades, and when the camera finally reveals the face of his birth father, viewers are left stunned, as the man is someone previously introduced to the series, whose history and actions have already cast long shadows over Fairmont Crest, a character who had woven his influence behind the scenes, and whose connection to Grayson changes the dynamics among the residents, allies, and adversaries alike, because not only does this revelation rewrite Grayson's understanding of his own identity, but it also forces each person around him to reevaluate their relationships, their motives, and the alliances that have seemed stable until now, and the script cleverly juxtaposes this moment with the reactions of other key players, from shock and disbelief to anger and opportunism, as everyone in the scene processes the implications in real time, while the audience is invited to reflect on the themes of legacy, betrayal, and the enduring question of nature versus nurture that Beyond the Gates has explored since its inception. And the drama escalates further when Grayson must navigate his emotions, balancing the desire for connection with the hurt caused by years of absence and secrets, all while dealing with external pressures from rival factions, family expectations, and his own internal struggle to define who he truly is. And as the episode unfolds, viewers are treated to a masterclass in dramatic storytelling, with interwoven subplots involving clandestine meetings, whispered threats, and moral dilemmas that raise the stakes even higher. And the tension is mirrored in visual storytelling, the shadowy corridors, stormy nights, and symbolic imagery emphasizing the turbulent nature of hidden truths coming to light. And through it all, Grayson emerges as a character of profound depth, resilience, and complexity, whose journey from uncertainty to revelation is portrayed with nuance, making his eventual discovery of his birth father not just a plot twist, but a transformative moment that reshapes his trajectory. And as the episode closes, the ripple effects of this revelation are felt throughout Fairmont Crest, promising that future episodes will explore the fallout in intricate detail, with consequences touching every corner of the community, relationships strained and tested, secrets threatened with exposure, and alliances reconfigured, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats and eagerly anticipating the next chapter in the saga of Beyond the Gates, a series that has consistently blended suspense, emotional resonance, and intricate plotting to create a world where every character's actions carry weight, every hidden truth has the potential to explode, and the revelation of Grayson's birth father is not merely a shock for the characters on screen, but a testament to the show's ability to intertwine personal discovery with broader narrative consequences, demonstrating that in the universe of Beyond the Gates, identity, family, and the past are never simple, and that even the quietest character can hold the key to explosive drama that redefines everything around them, leaving the audience breathless. speculative, and emotionally invested as they process the implications of who Grayson's father truly is, how this changes the power dynamics in Fairmont Crest, and what secrets may yet be unearthed in a community built on both ambition and deception, ensuring that the conversation around this revelation will dominate fan discussions, social media speculation, and critical analysis, cementing the episode as one of the most talked about and pivotal installments in the Beyond the Gate series. With the potential to influence character arcs, future plotlines, and viewer expectations for months to come, while simultaneously reaffirming the show's reputation for delivering shocking twists, character-driven storytelling, and moments that resonate long after the credits roll. And as the revelation settles over Fairmont Crest like a storm cloud, each character reacts in a way that feels both inevitable and shocking. Because some, like Grayson's closest friend who has stood loyally at his side, struggle to reconcile their past assumptions with a new reality, while others, particularly those whose secrets are now threatened by this unveiling, begin to strategize in hushed tones, exchanging knowing glances and veiled warnings, plotting moves that could either protect their own positions or capitalize on Grayson's emotional vulnerability. And the show masterfully alternates between Grayson's intimate confrontation with his birth father, where every word, every hesitation, every glance is loaded with history and unspoken truths, and the chaotic reactions of the wider community, including the Duprees, the Richardson faction, and peripheral yet pivotal players, whose alliances and loyalties are suddenly in question, and the narrative tension is further amplified by flashbacks that reveal not only the circumstances of Grayson's early life, but also subtle, previously overlooked hints planted throughout the series that now resurface, making viewers realize that the seeds of this revelation were being sown for seasons, with careful attention to dialogue cues, cryptic gestures, and subtle camera angles that created a sense of foreboding and inevitability, and the writing emphasizes the psychological impact on Grayson, whose composed exterior begins to crack as he confronts emotions of anger, relief, betrayal, confusion, and an unexpected longing for connection. And as he listens to his birth father speak, words that are simultaneously comforting and chilling, viewers are drawn into a tense dance of hope and dread, because while this man offers answers, he also brings with him complications, hidden agendas, and a history that could endanger not just Grayson but everyone around him. And in parallel, subplots continue to unfold elsewhere in Fairmont Crest. A scheming neighbor who has long coveted influence over the Duprees observes the interaction, calculating how to manipulate this revelation for maximum personal gain, while another character, one whose moral compass has wavered but who secretly cares for Grayson, debates whether to intervene, to reveal additional secrets, or to step back and let events unfold naturally. And this layered storytelling ensures that the episode does not simply rest on the shock value of the revelation but uses it as a catalyst for cascading consequences that ripple through the social, emotional, and political fabric of the community. And as tension escalates, the cinematography underscores the chaos and gravity of the moment. Storm clouds over Fairmont Crest, shadows creeping across walls, sudden close-ups of trembling hands and widened eyes, the soundtrack swelling with ominous strings and sudden silences that emphasize each dramatic beat, creating a visceral experience for viewers, while the script meticulously balances the external spectacle of power struggles and hidden schemes with the internal drama of Grayson's journey towards self-discovery, identity, and emotional reconciliation. And as the confrontation progresses, the dialogue hints at deeper layers of betrayal, including past deceptions that involve both the birth father and secondary characters whose motivations have remained ambiguous, forcing the audience to question who can truly be trusted. And as Grayson processes these revelations, the show slows down certain moments to highlight the psychological complexity of his reactions, glances that betray uncertainty, pauses that convey the weight of decades of secrecy, and subtle physical gestures that reveal both vulnerability and inner strength, while simultaneously cutting to scenes of other key characters reacting in real time, some plotting revenge, others scrambling to hide their complicity, and a few secretly hoping that reconciliation might be possible. And this weaving of parallel storylines emotional beats, and suspenseful plot maneuvers creates a sense of unstoppable momentum, where every revelation triggers a cascade of consequences, from whispered confrontations in shadowed hallways to explosive arguments at public events, and even small interactions. An overheard comment, a text message intercepted, a glance exchanged in passing, take on amplified significance, because now everything is connected to Grayson's newly revealed parentage, and as the episode reaches its peak, the audience witnesses Grayson navigating a series of moral dilemmas. Whether to embrace this man as a father, how to reconcile with the adoptive parents who raised him, and how to respond to those who see the revelation as an opportunity to manipulate him. And layered on top of this are the subplots of romantic tension, financial scheming, and past grievances that resurface now with new meaning, all meticulously scripted to create an intricate tapestry of drama where every thread matters. And as Grayson finally steps back, taking a moment to process the weight of what he has learned, the episode delivers a masterstroke of emotional storytelling, blending catharsis, uncertainty, and anticipation for what comes next, ensuring that viewers are left simultaneously satisfied by the payoff of long-running mysteries and ravenous for the repercussions that will dominate the coming episodes. And the narrative genius of Beyond the Gates lies in its ability to make a single revelation, Grayson's birth father, serve as a fulcrum, pivoting multiple storylines, exposing hidden motives, reigniting old conflicts, and redefining character arcs, so that what could have been a simple plot twist instead becomes a profound moment of transformation for the entire cast, with reverberations that promise to affect relationships, power structures, and emotional alliances across Fairmont Crest. And the episode closes with a haunting shot of Grayson alone, silhouetted against the cresting storm outside, a visual metaphor for the turbulent journey ahead. As unresolved questions linger, will Grayson confront the darker aspects of his father's past? How will this change his relationships with friends and family? Who will exploit this revelation for personal gain, and who will rise to protect him? And as viewers sit on the edge of their seats, speculating, theorizing, and emotionally processing, the writers of Beyond the Gates demonstrate the power of long-form television storytelling, where one moment, one carefully revealed secret, can send shockwaves across the narrative universe, keeping audiences hooked, engaged, and eagerly awaiting the next twist in a saga that is as much about the fragility and resilience of human relationships as it is about mystery, betrayal, and the high-stakes drama that defines Fairmont Crest. And just as Grayson absorbs the gravity of learning the identity of his birth father, a cascade of flashbacks floods his mind, each memory more poignant and haunting than the last, from whispered conversations he overheard as a child that suddenly make sense in retrospect, to fleeting glimpses of unfamiliar faces at family gatherings, each carrying a weight he could never quite articulate until now. And as these realizations settle in, the camera cuts to other corners of Fairmont Crest, where allies and adversaries alike react in ways that range from disbelief to opportunistic calculation, because everyone who has had even a peripheral connection to Grayson or his family immediately realizes that the power dynamics of the town have shifted irrevocably, and the Richardson faction, who have long coveted control over aspects of the community, see this revelation as a chance to exploit vulnerabilities, whispering covertly among themselves about manipulating Grayson's newfound emotional turmoil, while the Dupree family, though shocked and protective, must also confront their own feelings of guilt, inadequacy, and uncertainty, knowing that the child they raised has been carrying an invisible weight. And as the narrative cuts back to Grayson's face, lit by the stark glow of lamplight against the shadows of the room, viewers witness the subtle micro-expressions, the narrowing of his eyes, the slight tremor in his jaw, the silent tightening of his fists, that speak volumes about his internal conflict, for he is simultaneously drawn toward his birth father with the hope of connection and repelled by the hidden truths and potential betrayal that linger in every word exchanged. And layered atop this emotional turmoil are additional subplots that intertwine with the main revelation. A long-simmering romantic tension between two central characters now becomes fraught with urgency, as one of them fears the impact of Grayson's discovery on their relationship and the delicate alliances they've built, while a mysterious figure, long suspected of manipulating events from the shadows, watches intently, calculating how to leverage the situation to further their own hidden agenda, and even secondary characters, those previously relegated to minor roles, find their stories suddenly amplified. Because the revelation of Grayson's parentage affects property disputes, inheritance issues, and old rivalries, all of which converge in tense, emotionally charged confrontations that spill into the night, down shadowed hallways, and across lavish yet foreboding estates, where whispered threats, cryptic glances, and sudden outbursts heighten the sense of impending catastrophe, and as Grayson's birth father speaks, his words are layered with ambiguity, some offering solace, others hinting at secrets that could destabilize not just Grayson's sense of self, but also the fragile equilibrium of Fairmont Crest. And the show cleverly punctuates these moments with symbolic imagery, from storm clouds gathering overhead to the flicker of candlelight casting distorted shadows, reinforcing the theme that truth, once illuminated, can both enlighten and unsettle, and parallel to these central events, scenes unfold in other parts of the town. Characters previously estranged reconnect under tense circumstances. Allies question loyalties in hushed conversations, and those with hidden motives position themselves to benefit from chaos, creating a network of suspense and intrigue that keeps viewers engaged on multiple levels. And even as Grayson wrestles with the personal ramifications of the revelation, he must also navigate external pressures, from those who seek to protect him to those who would exploit him, and the narrative tension is heightened by the subtle interplay of power, trust, and betrayal, with every interaction laden with subtext, every gesture, glance, or pause carrying potential significance. And as the story unfolds, past secrets come to light. Long-hidden affairs, covert financial schemes, and clandestine alliances that, once revealed, threaten to disrupt relationships and hierarchies, while flashbacks continue to deepen viewers' understanding of character motivations, allowing the audience to appreciate the intricate web of cause and effect that has led to this climactic moment. And as the confrontation reaches its peak, Grayson is forced to confront not only his birth father's past but also his own identity, grappling with questions of loyalty, morality, and the true meaning of family, while the ensemble cast reacts in real time, some with outrage, some with empathy, and some with calculated cunning, creating a layered tableau of human emotion and strategic maneuvering. And the tension is amplified further by the show's use of cinematic techniques, tight close-ups, shifting camera angles, dramatic lighting, and a suspenseful score that ebbs and flows with the narrative, reflecting the turbulence of Grayson's inner journey and the external chaos surrounding him. And even as the episode reaches what might seem like a moment of resolution, new threads of conflict emerge, unresolved grudges, hidden vendettas, and secret alliances that now intersect with the revelation, ensuring that the fallout will extend across multiple future episodes, keeping the narrative momentum relentless. Because in Beyond the Gates, a single revelation is never contained, and the shock of discovering one's parentage ripples outward, affecting every relationship, every decision, and every power dynamic in Fairmont Crest. And as viewers watch Grayson process the news, balancing anger, curiosity, sorrow, and a tentative desire for reconciliation, they are also treated to a masterclass in ensemble storytelling, where every character, no matter how minor, has a stake in the unfolding drama, and where personal emotions collide with strategic maneuvering to create a narrative that is both intimate and epic. And in the final scenes, Grayson steps away from the confrontation, alone, framed against the turbulent night sky, leaving audiences to ponder the questions the episode raises. How will this revelation redefine his future? Can trust be rebuilt where deception once ruled? Which allies will rise to protect him, and which will exploit his vulnerability for their own gain? And as the credits roll, the lingering tension ensures that viewers are left breathless, anticipating the cascading consequences of a single, life-altering revelation that is certain to dominate both the narrative and the emotional landscape of Fairmont Crest in the episodes to come, reaffirming Beyond the Gates as a series that masterfully balances shocking plot twists with profound explorations of identity, family, and the hidden forces that shape every life in its tightly knit, suspenseful, and ever-evolving world. A.S. Grayson's mind races with the implications of finally learning the identity of his birth father. The episode expands the scope of its drama to encompass not just the immediate fallout, but the cascading consequences across Fairmont Crest, where every resident, from the most prominent families to the seemingly inconsequential townsfolk, is now implicated in a web of secrets, lies, and unspoken alliances. And as viewers are pulled deeper into the narrative, the show meticulously reveals that the revelation is not isolated. It triggers long-dormant rivalries, reawakens old grudges, and forces characters who had previously navigated their lives with caution to make bold, sometimes